Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 4th of February, 2026. I hope your week is going swell. We like to start these meetings by welcoming anyone who is new. Of course, if you're new to this meeting or you haven't taken the time to introduce yourself, if you would like to take that opportunity now, by all means.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Dmitry. So today I joined this meeting at first time actually, and I want to discuss when it's appropriate question about releases of Virt. I suppose I need to add this topic to open floor in the document.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I will add it. Yeah. So, uh, yeah. Basically that's it.
Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So edit rights to the document belong to anyone in the KubeVirt dev mailing list. So if you're on the mailing list, you should be able to edit the document. Is there anyone else here who would like to introduce themselves and haven't before? We will move along then. Quick check of the schedule. February 25th is our version 1.8 code freeze. I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah, 25th. So that's in what, 3 weeks' time, approximately. With a GA expected to be the 18th of March. There is a chance that that will get slightly nudged in order to coincide with KubeCon, but that remains to be seen. We have some CFPs open and events coming up. So the KubeCon in Japan, which will be at the end of July, it currently has its CFP open. I'm not aware of any other CFPs currently open. If you do know of one, please let me know. I'll add it here. And I've added all the talks to the upcoming KubeCon EU and the KubeVirt Summit that will be a part of that KubeCon in there. So you can peruse them at your leisure. Let's have a quick check of the calendar. So pretty regular. Next week we've got the Coco meeting, and just to follow up, I think we had a question about. Okay. Oh, it's a good point. Yes, DevConf is open. DevConf is open until the first couple of days of March. It's a good point. I should add that in. Container Hamburg is also open. All right, excellent. That's awesome. Thanks for that. I'll add them. Vladik needs some time. We'll get to that in just a second. So I sent an email out yesterday about the VEP discussion. So it is still relevant. Basically, if you have a VEP that has been accepted, but it's losing traction before the code freeze, go to that meeting in lieu or as well as the relevant SIG meeting in order to get some attention onto that. And also, it's never too early to bring VEPs for the future release to start discussion and getting the community acquainted with them and getting feedback as early as possible. Okay, Vladik, you've got some stuff. Do you want to add them to the open floor? It looks as though Lee's not here. What I take from this. So this is an FYI. I think a couple of days at the start of the week, the KubeVirt AI contribution policy has been merged. You can find it. I'm going to post it into chat. I can find where my chat is. There it is. Please acquaint yourself if you're not already familiar with it. This is a starting point, and Lee's asked for replies, questions, concerns, and PRs to help us iterate on this. That's a good point. We should include this in the PR template. Are you able to open an issue on the
Got it. Will do.
KubeVirt? Thank you. Okay, Roni, you've got a question here.
Yeah, it's more than a question. It's something that I want to bring up. I first brought it up yesterday in the web discussion because I wasn't completely sure where to bring it up. And people pointed me out to the community discussion that it's more relevant here. And I was talking with some people, some of the maintainers, some of the developers, some like all the roles, reviewers, and I was talking with people, and we thought about creating some kind of a tool in order to review commit messages. Now, if you look at the KubeVirt project, there isn't really a place with clear code lines about how to write, like what should be in the commit message of every push request. And I was thinking, first I want like this discussion is only about if such a tool is really needed, and maybe later on we can have a discussion about the set of rules that we want to implement. But I want to hear from you if the majority of people do think that it will be helpful to create some kind of tool, not as a requirement, not as a check that must be enforced, but as a warning, maybe as a comment, the same way that Source AI does comments today, so that reviewers can get a general idea if the commit message is really appropriate and if it follows some kind of set of rules. And maybe later on we can add even some kind of AI integration to see if the context of the commit message is really following the changes in the code. So I want to hear people's opinions about it. But again, if no one's against it, then I'll just start working on some kind of a draft, and let's see. But I want to hear if there are people that think, like, what do you think?
So if I may start, I would like to say that maybe let's start first from defining a policy for what we expect in the commit messages to see regarding format and context and in general, and then move forward for some tool that maybe contributors can use in order to check themselves regarding their own commit messages if they want them to comply. Do it incrementally, I think, and to drop right away as a strict tool, I think it's like will be too enforcing. Yeah, that's what I think. And if you want, Ronnie, we can I can collaborate with you regarding how to define that policy. Okay, have some sources that we can rely on. Construct the policy and open a PR in the community.
Yeah,
and
it
then,
will be great. Which gives me to the question. The next question is just: should we add it to? I posted in the docs. Should we add it here in the reviewer guide? The set of like let's say the number of some kind of number of characters we expect in each commit, or is there a more appropriate place than in the review guide?
I will check it. And Itamar, go on.
I said it before, so sorry for repeating it, but I really think that the conversation would be much easier if we would come with a set of things that we actually want to, to base our policy on. So, I mean, generally saying we need the same format for all commits. I don't really know what it means and what exactly we're talking about. Maybe it's worth bringing like some very, very concrete points, and then we can base the discussion upon those, because I'm not really sure which rules we're even talking about.
So I'm just gonna say that like I ran a summary of the last 500 recent commit messages, and there are a few common characteristics that are followed. I can bring them up here. It feels like it's too much for this discussion, and there are other people who wants to talk as well. That's the reason I'm only verifying like the general idea. If we have time, I can share that. The summary.
Ronnie, but which criteria did you use, and are you sure we all agreed on these criteria that you have used in order to identify these commit messages that you want to show us?
I just I took the last 500 commit messages that were merged in the KubeVirt repository, and I'll let AI analyze them and see what's common in them, and it gave some things that are common, like a few set of rules.
I think there is interest. I think there is a need for this discussion. Perhaps what we can do to move this forward and still have time for the other topics is to, put what you've got, that criteria into and start a discussion on the mailing list. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, totally. Maybe even arrange a dedicated meeting in Upstream also may make sense.
Yeah.
If needed.
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely interest in this, and I think it'll benefit from seeing some of this written down. Sound good?
Yeah, that's all I want to discuss about in this meeting, at least.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Dmitry, you've got a discussion of Virt handler.
Yeah, so at my work we have several clusters of KubeVirt actually, and some of them have like very diverse platforms, architectures. Like we have CPU nodes, we have GPU nodes, ARM and X. 86, yeah. So, and of course we have different manufacturers of the hardware. So, and we actually stumbled upon a problem that we can't deploy Virt handler like on canary nodes. So our daemon sets usually we deploy at first on canary nodes, run E2E tests, and check that the new release, like it's fine to proceed. But with Virt handler, we can't do that. So, and I suggest to patch Virt operator in order to be able deploying Virt handler gradually. So from canaries to other part of the fleet, and on different architectures. So we have canaries for CPU only nodes, for GPU only nodes, etc. Yeah. So, and basically my question is, where should I start discussing the actual implementation of that feature, and whether this feature is needed by the community? Yeah.
So you and I discussed this a little bit, right?
Yeah, in Slack channel.
In a Slack chat. Yeah. So basically the thought is, we don't want to do a full upgrade of giant clusters and find out that there's a bug or whatever that's, you know, causing you to have to like roll back for your clusters to become stable again. You want to just have a small set of nodes that you deploy a canary on that's upgraded to the next version. You can run your tests, and once you're happy, you can then say, okay, now do it for the rest of the cluster. That's essentially what we're saying, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
To me, it sounds like a useful feature, but see what other people think.
I'm not familiar with the discussion, but in general, I think if it's an enhancement proposal, like we have the usual procedure of opening a web. But once again, I'm not familiar with all the details, whether it requires a web. But yeah, usually if it's like an API enhancement, for example, we would like to discuss, web would be a good place.
Okay. So then I will start with the web, and I suppose I will need to attend web meetings. Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. Then you can promote and see the progress.
Okay. Thank you. So I
Sure.
suppose my question was answered, and we can proceed to another topic.
Dimitri, just one other thing. If you feel that, this requires discussion and not just you have already an idea how to implement this, then I would suggest to have just to organize a one-off meeting with people who are, who have an opinion about this topic, and actually come up with a plan of how to do it. Because a web is good, but usually you would have to have some kind of a concrete steps that you want to implement.
I understand that. I need to at first I need to kind of make a sketch at least to understand by myself what will work and what won't. Yeah. So it will take some time before I'll be ready for web discussion. Yeah. And
no worries. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Another good place.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
I just want to say that I think it's the most important thing is to convince everyone or enough people that it is why it is needed, what is the use case here. The details of how to implement it, I think you can leave for a web. But understanding why it is needed and is it important, that's the most important part.
Okay.
We run an unconference that'll happen, I guess, at the start of March. And you're welcome to bring that topic to that. And that'll be a good place to have that kind of like, that brainstorming. As far as implementation details, it'll be good to attend the SIG Compute meeting, which happens directly after this meeting. And then, the VEP discussion, you wouldn't need to attend every single VEP meeting, just bring it, start discussion, and then once the wheels start moving, you don't even need to return to that in order to regain traction or to continue discussion or something like that. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. David.
Yeah. Hey. This should be quick. I linked the PR already there. So for this PR, some of you looked at this already. A image was created on Quay, and now my question is just I have an issue with tagging. Now I tagged the image with just 1.00, but this is just for me a placeholder. what's the naming or the tagging convention if a image is not regularly updated? Because this doesn't, like, what's different here is that this doesn't is not based on like Alpine or something that like gets updates or need to periodically be rebuilt. So there is I'm not sure if the date and commit hash convention applies here, or if it's just latest and we keep it at latest, or is it a version number? I've seen some images on Quay that like have a version number V003, for example. So I'm just not sure how to tag this image. And the question also came up from you guys here, from some of you. Does someone has an opinion about this, maybe, or a question?
I was recently looking into how to mirror images into the dev environment. And I don't think it's super important what tag you have. It's referred to by the SHA digest. So at least that is with Bazel right now. So maybe that helps if you just add it to the list of images in Bazel.
So okay, so the tag itself is not that important, you would say?
Yeah, it's also referred to by the digest as well. So even if it's latest or whatever, the digest still has to match. Maybe that helps.
Okay, yeah, but in the code, it needs to be addressed with a tag, no? Like in test cases, for example.
Yeah, I think you could look at how the other images are mirrored into the dev environment. They should be available under the devil tag, if I recall correctly.
All right. Okay, I would appreciate if someone maybe jump into the discussion also in the pull request, if some of you may have an opinion later on. Yeah. Okay, that's it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. Vladek, KubeVirt.
Yeah, I see that we don't have enough time to discuss this, and I wonder if we maybe can organize a call today later. But I'll reach out to the relevant people in the discussion. Maybe we can meet today and have a better understanding of what we want to do. In general, my main concern is that I do agree that there are lots of benefits with KubeBuilder. Just we have right now three different validations, like possible validations, the webhooks and the admission policies, like validation admission policies, and now this. And my problem with the schema validation is that some of it may break backward compatibility, and I'm concerned that reading some of the documentations around this around these features that we will basically, because we don't upgrade our CRD often, we're basically stuck in a specific version. So each time we will upgrade and we will add new validations, it may break objects that we already have, and that's a bit concerning. So that's maybe okay for fields that are entirely static and we 100% sure that never will change. But certain patterns like regex and then additional fields that may change or potentially be updated or somehow modified, I'm really worried. And I think that in general, I would love to get rid of all of our webhooks and turn them into a validation policy or something like this. And then, yeah.
Ed, you've got a question?
No, I agree with Radek. I just want to understand this is like a major API change. So I don't understand how was there a web for this? It's like a discussion is must here. Otherwise, we are in big trouble. Like I maybe an example is adequate, like Radek. Like if one of these parameters is added, one of these restriction is added today in the next release, and there is an existing manifest in the system that violates it by mistake or I don't know why, which has no effect in reality in the code base, then I mean, then it will just I don't know what will happen. We are not supposed to break anyone, even if they did a mistake ages ago. So
I tested that.
okay.
It doesn't. The field just keeps its technically invalid value as long as you don't update the object. But yeah, next update, the update will fail as long as the wrong value is there.
Yeah, I think the patching will fail. I mean, if you patch something totally different, it may fail it. If you don't touch it, I guess maybe
Yeah,
it's
possible.
correct. Then there is like a big discussion about. I mean, there is like a lot of documentation in Kubernetes and other downstream of Kubernetes about this API using this for APIs. So it's I don't know if we know all the rules. So I guess yes.
Sorry, we're at time. Do we want to pick this up next week, or is it necessary to have a standalone meeting specifically for this before then?
So I have a feeling that it will be lively discussion. So maybe we want to actually schedule something for next week.
Okay, for the vast majority of people here, is it better to have Tuesday or Wednesday prior to this meeting? We could start an hour before this meeting if it's going to be lively. Or shall I just choose a time, promote it, and we'll see what's what? Okay.
Wednesday does work for me better, I think, and
Okay.
for a couple of folks as well here.
All right, sounds good. All right, I'll organize a time. I'll send it out in the mailing list. And that brings us to the end of this. We'll jump over to Sig Compute now. Thanks everyone for everything that you brought here. Love to see you all again, and have a good day.
Thank you. Good day. Thank you.